Welcome back, everybody. This week we have several things in store for you. Once again, my name is Logan.
And my name is Nelson.
Yes, and first of all, let's start with how our weeks went. It's Friday evening again, and how'd your week go?
It's abysmal.
Abysmal.
I'm just going to say that because you heard me before we even started when I was
Yep.
taking my quiz. I went on this massive tangent about my engines class. So that's probably one of the biggest things that's been happening. My mom knows about this. My girlfriend knows about this. Now you know about it. So
It's good to vent.
it's been it's been nuts. I'm just going to say that. So uh I'm I'm just waiting on Black Ops 6 at this point because it comes out next week.
Ooh, I
And I
didn't
have
realize
a
that.
dilemma. I have a dilemma at the moment, Logan. I don't know if I should play it on Xbox or if I should play it on PS5. I don't know. I totally did not improvise that just now. I did though. But anyways, uh, I don't know. I kind of wanted to switch to Xbox this time around, but I'll think about it.
Yeah, that's a tough decision. I don't know. I would choose Xbox, obviously, because that's what I'm an Xbox
You know
guy,
what?
but
I'll do it. I'll give it a try. You know what? I'll switch this year. I mean, I've been playing COD consistently on the PS5 for the last couple of years, so I'll do it. I'll give it a shot.
sweet. Well,
Change isn't always bad.
I know, not always.
Nope.
we're
Well,
usually change averse, and now it's like, oh, maybe it's good.
well, listen, $80 yearly subscription
Yeah,
or $60.
yeah,
I think it's obvious.
right,
So,
yeah.
oh, that was another thing too. I don't know if you know what? When we talk about gaming or tech, I'll make a note of that. So I'll let you do your thing as well. So how's your week been?
Um, very tiring. I hit a little bit of a low. There's always a low in the school semester where you're just absolutely bogged down and ready to just sleep all day and play
You're
video
chugging
games
along.
instead of yeah. And I just didn't want to get any work done this week, and so I didn't get very much done this week. Also, I had something coming in the mail that I was very excited about.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
I know exactly what this is.
I spent a lot of money on something, and since I guess this is kind of sort of okay transition into the first topic, which is going to be gaming.
If you
Um,
want. Yep.
I got this week a new Xbox, and this is what the
Oh,
controller looks like. It's pretty cool. You can see the sparkles right there. I'm pretty happy about that, and I'm not going to show you the box itself. It's sitting right here, right next to me, right down there.
you
Yeah,
got mine right
you have
here.
yours on full display. It looks like that. It's just sparkly, but I do have the box. Ooh, yes. So I got an Xbox Series X, and I've been. Oh, you still have the box too. Okay, here we go. Box comparison time. It's interesting. They've changed the packaging quite a lot. I
I like
think
yours a lot better.
I
I'm just
think
gonna
yours
say
is
that.
bigger. Yeah. Look at all show all the sides because we gotta see the comparison here. Interesting. So yours has Halo and Starfield on the back, right? Or just
Mine has
Starfield?
mine has the Starfield one.
Yeah. So mine doesn't
Okay.
have that. Mine
Quick
just says
crack.
Power Your Dreams. And
Mine says that too. Power your
yeah,
dreams.
but mine doesn't have any games on it. It's all about the box.
It's all about the fridge.
Yep. And I got this side as well. Ooh, you got like hardware on there and stuff. Interesting. And I love it. That's what it looks like. It's really sparkly and cool, and I love it.
So
Nelson's
let
gonna
me get
have to
this
come
straight.
see it when he comes to our Halloween party.
So let me get this straight, Logan.
Yeah.
It's the exact same specs as mine, yeah?
Yes, except they did change the CPU. It is a 6 nanometer process instead of a 7 nanometer process. So it's only slightly different. It's not actually a performance difference. Mostly efficiency.
I see.
So that's
Okay.
the only thing that changed. It's like the PS5 original versus the Slim.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's just a change in efficiency. So
Well, I don't even think there's a need to upgrade, to be honest. I really don't. Especially to from the PS5 to the PS4, or not the PS4 Pro, the
yeah,
PS5.
we're still on the PS4 generation in our brains here.
I know. Well, what was it? Didn't Sony? I heard something that Sony kind of, what was it? It was sometime this past year that they revealed like their player count, their player base or whatever.
Yeah,
It's now 50-50 between the PS4 and the PS5.
I
At
mean they're
least if I'm
making
not mistaken.
progress. It used to be
They are.
like 75-25, so
Yeah. Well, then because they couldn't afford people, I mean, they still aren't able to afford it, but uh it was just impossible to get. So,
yeah. Well, I had been playing on an Xbox One X, which was like the most powerful console last generation, and it was really impressive. It was a great console, but coming to the new Series X, it's like this is really good. This generation, I think, is the best generation of consoles
in terms of hardware, I would
in
say.
terms of hardware, and also like the software is really nice to go through because it's super smooth. All the animations are really snappy. There's no lag like in the One X when you're navigating through stuff. It's kind of slow. It's not a super responsive system, even though that one has a better hard drive. But the SSD makes all the difference, and especially like with stuff like quick resume, and it's just a whole nother level. It's the most convenient way to play video games I have ever experienced. Even like compared to PC too, it's like it's a massive difference. So I've
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of games on it. I used my external drive to download everything to the console at 1 gigabit per second, which was amazing. It still took forever to download everything, but
That's nice.
and
That's really nice.
I started Jedi Fallen Order. I started playing that, even though like I had it on the PS5, but I don't really like playing on the PS5 that much. Like I played Ratchet and Clank, but um, I really enjoy it on here, and it's been optimized for this console, so it's just amazing. I really do like it. So that's what my weeks looked like. I've been playing games all week on my new
That's good.
Xbox. Yeah,
That's good. I mean, speaking of Xbox, in relation to the newest Call of Duty title coming out, if I'm not mistaken, Microsoft did announce their new prices for Game Pass. If I'm
yeah.
not mistaken, Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate. I think it was from like 16.99 to now it's 19.99.
Yeah.
And people are calling this the COD tax because of Black Ops 6. So it's just a $20 bypass to play the game, essentially.
I mean, if
They're
you
call-
think about it, it's still a really good deal. Like
it
if
is.
but not if you're just gonna play COD, obviously, right?
Well,
Like
yeah,
twenty
but
dollars a month just to play one COD game is not good. You should just go out and buy the COD game. But
yeah, because at that point you might as well just get it because you're already putting $20 down.
right.
So,
But if you're a guy like me and you've tried only a few games, like when I was playing on PC, I had like two games that I was playing. Like I
yeah.
had this whole gigantic, really super powerful PC, and I was only playing two games. But now that I've got this and I bought Game Pass Ultimate, like I started with the 1 month free trial or whatever it was. And I've been subscribing to Game Pass ever since then. That was a while ago now. But I keep subscribing to it because there are so many games that I've never touched before and I never would touch otherwise. Like I wouldn't buy these games, but I've been playing them and I've actually been really loving them. So like Jedi Fallen Order, I would never buy that game, but I have Game Pass so I can just play it and it's been amazing and I love it.
Yeah, that's probably one of Microsoft's biggest strengths when it comes to the Xbox and PC hardware, I would say. It's specifically Game Pass.
Yeah.
For me, I guess you could say here's the thing. Uh I'm still a traditional like buy just the multiplayer yearly subscription thing. And I think, didn't you say there were rumors of them actually phasing that out? I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure you mentioned to me
yeah.
something like that. If they do, that would be a massive win because forget this console right here. I'm tired of it. I will move to the black one
Yeah.
and not the white one. But call me racist, but you know how much good press Xbox would get
they
if they
would
actually announced that?
they would absolutely
It,
smash
they would
PlayStation.
smash, they would demolish them, and
Yeah.
I bet you PlayStation would find some way to file a lawsuit saying, "Well, you can't actually do that because that harms competition." Yeah, but that's the point. It's a competition. That's why these two consoles exist.
Yeah.
So, but uh I I'm I'm not a Game Pass subscriber.
Yeah.
I'm not. I guess you could say I am at this point because on Amazon I buy the $60
Yeah.
yearly
That's
subscription.
what I've been doing.
That's not
I've just been buying the $50 whatever cards from Target or whatever.
well,
I'm
thing
not
is,
with recurring paying on. I'm just paying for it like it's buying a video game. Except I get a ton of video games and I can swap between them with quick resume and it's fantastic and I can just play however many games I want.
that's yeah. I forgot about that because yesterday I was playing on my Xbox and I completely forgot about the quick resume because I haven't booted this thing up in a while. I actually left this thing behind for a little bit
Yeah.
because I was too busy playing COD on this thing. But um
Destroyer
for
of Worlds, Call of
on
Duty.
yeah, on Amazon they offer just the Game Pass Core, which is just for the Xbox and not PC.
Yep.
They offer a 12-month subscription for $60 and you only get like, if I'm not mistaken, you only get a couple of games with
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
and that's it. You don't get
It's
Game
like a
Pass
dozen
Ultimate.
games or something.
You don't get day one or anything like
Yeah.
that. You don't, but you get the online multiplayer. It's pretty much the new traditional Xbox Live. That's
Right.
about it.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted. And thing is, I can't find these cards in stores.
Really?
Maybe I'm not, for me at least. I go to Target, I go to Kohl's.
Hmm.
I maybe I'm not looking in the right areas,
Well,
but
they
I
wouldn't be
might be
any
wrong.
cheaper than $60.
Yeah, and I've seen the 3-month subscriptions, and I'm thinking, man, $40 or however
Yeah.
much it is
That's no good.
for 3 months. No, I wanted the 12-month yearly subscription because it's cheaper.
Right.
So, and PlayStation used to do this, and then until they thought that they were better than everyone else, they think they can get away with paying $80, having you pay $80 for the core PS Plus subscription.
Mhm.
The core, the bottom of the barrel
Yeah.
version of it. It went from 60 to 80,
Yeah.
and I buy it when it goes on sale. I buy the yearly subscription when it goes on sale because
Yeah.
that's usually like October, November, and they're like, "Oh, it's 20% off." So meaning that it was originally what it used to be a couple years back,
Yeah.
$60.
Mhm.
That's ridiculous.
You know,
That's
one thing I hear a lot of PC gamers saying is that PC gaming is cheaper in the long run because you don't have to pay for live service. But I don't actually see that. I don't know if that's true. Because you're spending what, like $1,500 on a PC that can, do 4K gaming like a modern console, right?
oh, and Lord knows how much I've spent on mine. Good grief. You know
Yeah.
how much I spent on mine, but that was a dumb purchase. I'll admit it. That was stupid, but I did it for a reason.
Yeah. So
We did it
to
for a
get from
reason.
the $500 that you pay for a base Series X up to $1,500, you'd have to pay for live service for what, like uh 5 no 10 years. 10 years, that's the full life of the console. You'd have to pay for live service for the full life of the console if you and it's still less actually because it's $60. So I don't
Yeah.
actually see that. I don't know how they're doing their math, but it doesn't seem right to me. I've always been a little skeptical about that.
I
Uh,
guess they say it's cheaper than consoles because there's no like live subscription associated with it. So,
but I just did the
I mean,
calculations, right?
I
It's sixty
I yeah,
dollars a year, 10 years. It's still going to be less than
Oh yeah.
$1,500. And they say, oh, well, you can get the same performance if you buy a $500 PC. And the answer is no. And, even if you could get the same performance, you're not going to get the same amount of storage. And
Yeah.
it's not going to be the same performance in, what's the term? I'm thinking of a word that has to do with uh, it being. I can't think of it. Oh, what's the word?
Counterintuitive.
No, you were talking about the more stable. It's going to be more stable. That's not exactly what I was thinking about. That's not exactly the term, but the stability of
Well,
the console port is often way better than the stability of the PC port.
well, because it was made from the ground up on console with dev kits instead of it
Exactly.
being made on the PC. Yeah, we talked about this on a previous podcast, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
So
we talked about Cyberpunk specifically. It was made. It was a PC first.
yeah,
They had a PC mentality,
right.
and then they had to try to downscale that to run on old graphical hardware, CPU and
Yeah.
GPU hardware on a PS4. They somehow got it to run, but as you know, the results were not great for
Yeah.
that game.
Yeah, and it can go
But
the other way as well, right? You're going to get ports on
you could get
console that are
a
that
good
are
port.
fantastic, and then they're going to port it over to PC and they're going to be terrible just like that.
Well, that's another thing too, because what was it? It took Rockstar Games over 10 years
Mhm.
to put Red Dead Redemption 1 on PC. I don't know if it was because of the framework with the Xbox 360 and the PS3 that they were working with that made it difficult, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and the other
So,
thing is like you get stuff like FPS boost on modern consoles like on the Series X. I've been playing a game that I've been playing forever. And FPS boost. Get 120 FPS. Beautiful. From 60 artificially. And it's
I'd rather have
fantastic.
I'd rather have a stable 120
Yeah.
than a constant fluctuating 144 and then all of a sudden it stutters and then
Right.
drops
Drops
down to
down to
like.
40 or whatever and
And I'm like thinking, what on earth? I have the hardware.
yeah.
Like I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. And
7900 XTX, 7800 X3D.
yeah. And it's like I
And
don't have the time to figure out why it's doing this.
I
I'm too
know, it's
busy with
frustrating.
school and other stuff and my
I don't
job.
I don't want to take time out of my day to diagnose it. I
Yeah.
I don't. And people are like, "Oh, it's VSync. You got to turn VSync off." And then people are on the other side. They're like, "No, VSync helps it prevent stutters."
Yeah.
Oh, you got to have G-Sync enabled. You need FreeSync enabled,
Yeah.
plus the FPS cap. And I'm thinking, okay, I do all this stuff, and the game still stutters. I will say this, and I don't know if it's just me, but I will say this. On my previous computer, I had an i9 9900K and an RTX 2070,
Yep.
16 gigs of RAM.
Mhm.
I think it was 3600 gigahertz. I might be wrong. That's a little bit overkill, I would say, for those specs.
Yeah.
At the time, and a lot of people like to say, well, the hardware was old, so it makes sense why the computer was running like crap. But okay, Battlefield 2042 is a clear-cut example that comes to mind. Whether or not, say what you will about that game, I will say this, only this about that game. It was poorly optimized for PC at launch and for consoles, but mainly PC.
Yep.
Because everybody else on PC with top of the line hardware, and I think the hardware at the time that was considered top of the line was an RTX 3090 Ti, if
Yep.
I'm not mistaken.
That's a powerful
Now,
card.
you go to the minimum spec requirements and also the recommended spec requirements that they had listed. If you want to play at 60 FPS or higher, it had to be better. Your graphics card had to be on the same spec level as like I think it was a GTX 1060, I think, 6 gigs.
Mm.
If you wanted the game to run at like 60 frames on like medium to high settings. Now, I had an RTX 2070. Granted, it was a couple of years old, but it should have been capable of running it.
Yeah.
And on depending on what settings I chose and ran, it was fluctuating from like 90 to 120 FPS
Yeah.
all the time. And I had G-Sync enabled plus V-Sync, and it seemed fine, but I could not for the life of me. I don't know what it was. I even like did hard resets in my computer just to see if that would fix it. Hard resets, like wipe everything clean,
Yep.
fresh Windows install, and the game would still stutter. And
Yeah.
I let it do its shader cache and everything like that, where you load in, the game's gonna stutter a little bit, but then afterwards it'll iron itself out.
Right.
Usually, this is why pre-shader cache is better. I'd rather have pre-shader cache and wait 10 minutes than have to
Oh,
suffer.
you
And
just reminded me of something.
but I'll finish up that way. I'll let you speak. Um, thing is, okay, moving into today, 2024, new PC, 7800 X3D, 7900 XTX. I'm not trying to flex or anything. I know it's a little bit overkill, but
Yeah.
I
It
that's
should
what
be
I want.
overkill. It's overkill. It's overkill, but it still doesn't do the job.
And it's still stuttering. Battlefield 2042 is still stuttering.
Yeah.
And I'm still having the exact same problems that I were then. So I don't know if it's just me and my luck, but it's frustrating because I go to Battlefield 1, I go to Battlefield 4, and to some extent, I do get the occasional nose reveal. I do get the occasional stutters.
Yeah.
But it thing is, after playing a couple of games, it's like I don't even there's no stutters, it's buttery smooth. Battlefield 1, I will say this, highly optimized. Perfect. It's perfect. Smooth, buttery smooth gameplay across the board. No stutters, no frame rate issues, nothing.
That's how you
I
want it.
have had no issues whatsoever with Battlefield 1.
Yeah.
And that game is beautiful.
Mhm.
That I still think that's the best looking Battlefield game to date. I think that game looks just as good as Red Dead Redemption 2. It looks beautiful. But and COD to some extent also suffers from like stuttering as well. Even though you do the pre-shader cache, when you load in, it does the pre-shader cache as well. So that way you don't have to stutter while playing multiplayer. But on occasion it still stutters. I get it, it's a beta, but you can't tell me 4 years, 4,000 devs, and they still couldn't have figured out what was the main issue of the cause of stuttering. Was it a memory leak? I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's my rant.
Yeah.
Because I go to console, okay, on the PS5 for the Black Ops 6 beta on PS5, I was also experiencing stutters. And it wasn't just me, there were other people that were also experiencing this too. Now, I don't recall my experience on the Xbox. I don't remember. I don't even think I played it. I don't remember if I even did play it on the Xbox. But
I'm not sure.
I don't
Mine was
think I
buttery
did.
smooth on the One X.
Oh yeah, I played it and
You
I'm like,
played it on
this
mine.
I know, I played it and I'm thinking, Logan, this is good.
It was a
Like
very solid 60.
it was no stutters, nothing, and I was shocked because
Yeah.
that's last gen console.
Right.
That's a last gen console. And maybe it's because the developers over at Treyarch, of course, who are making this year's game, they, developed it on last gen hardware and
Mhm.
then they just upscaled it and then something went wrong in the process of upscaling it. Maybe. But anyways, that's my
Yeah, we'll
piece. I'll let
see. I'm
you
going to
I
try it
know
out on
you
my Series X, I think.
I know you wanted to say something, so I'm interested if
Yes.
you
Okay, so I want to make a point, and I'm going to bring up one specific game that I've dealt with on PC and on the Xbox One X and on the Series X. So, part of the problem with PCs is there are so many hardware combinations out there. There's no way for developers to perfect the games that they make for every hardware combination, right?
yeah.
Um, one example of this is Forza Horizon 5. Now, if you played that game on PC, after an update, usually what it needs to do is optimize for your PC, and it takes like 45 minutes to do that. Um, and that's, 45 minutes on solid PC hardware that can, with a good CPU that can get things done faster. Um, so it takes forever to get into a game of Forza Horizon 5. On the One X, it was a solid 30 FPS, which is not super impressive, but it's, playable on a game like that. You don't really need FPS, super high FPS for that game. But there's no optimization that you have to wait for. It's already optimized. You update and it's good to go. You're ready to go. So it takes
It's more
5
accessible.
minutes to get in to a game if you have the external drive. I mean, obviously it's going to be slower with the internal hard drive, but that's not a problem if you have an external drive like I do. And then you get over to the Series X, and it's 60. I think it's 60 frames per second. I'm pretty sure. I think that's what it says. I think there are only two options, and one's like fidelity and it's 30, and one is performance and it's 60. I cannot tell the graphical difference between performance and fidelity on that game, so I just go with performance because I want 60 frames per second because it looks nice. But it takes like 5 seconds to get into a game. It's unbelievably fast. So that's like 5 seconds on technically less powerful hardware, the Series X, versus my desktop computer, like 45 minutes to optimize the thing. And, that's not taking into account how long it takes to update. It takes less time to update on the Series X also. It's really a big difference. With consoles, it's like just the Series X. What is it, like 40 million or sold or something at this point? Or is that PS5?
I think it's around 40 million, if I'm not mistaken.
So that's 40 million people, all with the exact same hardware. They all have the exact same thing.
Now,
so
are
it's
we just...
Yeah,
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Are we talking specifically just the fridge, or are we talking like the Series X and X?
I don't know. We could just say series consoles because they're all in the same league, basically.
So since its release in November of 2020, let me switch screens real quick.
Okay, so that's half as much as I thought, but it's still 20 million, 21 million.
The Xbox Series X and S has sold well over 21 million units worldwide. Okay, well, now let's check the PS5. PS5 units. Sales.
Maybe PS5 is 40 million.
Launch 50 million. Good grief. Okay.
So I got the numbers mixed up, but...
Yeah, they're just rolling in the moolah. Chimichangas.
Well, the thing is, I want to make a point about that. Consoles you don't actually make money on the consoles. You make money on the games, right?
They make a profit loss from the consoles.
Exactly. So I think that's part of the reason that Xbox's model of porting games over to other systems and like PC and whatever is a good idea, because they're not actually making money on the hardware. Why would they want to sell more of stuff that they're not making any money on? Right? They just sell what they're making money on, which is the games. So that makes sense to me. I haven't heard anybody make a good argument for exclusive titles, really. I mean, sure, they sell the consoles, but why would you want to sell the consoles? Because I mean, you're going to sell more games maybe on cheaper hardware, but I don't know. Xbox seems like it has a good plan, right? Because they offer the cheaper hardware that doesn't make them any money, but they also sell the games everywhere. So
the entry point.
Yeah, this is the entry. This is the entry point. Yeah, still.
The Series S, I would say, is a good entry point. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
Entry point to this generation, I guess you could say, for just upgraded hardware. That's what this generation feels like to me, Logan. It just feels like the Xbox One and the PS4 just upgraded, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Where, like, the new standard at this point is 60 FPS bottom line. And that's about it.
Yeah.
To me at least, I'm a little bit disappointed that we haven't gotten that many exclusives as we would have liked.
Sure. It always feels nice to have exclusive games.
Well, because, it's nice to have those perks.
But one thing I will note is when I swapped over from the One X to the Series X, um, there were a lot of games on the Series X that I could not play on the One X in the Microsoft Store. There were a lot that were like
Yeah.
either like Fallen Order is playable on the One X, but it's Series X and S optimized, and there are a lot of games like that. And then you have some of the newer games like Star Wars Outlaws, and there are a lot of others. Forza Motorsport, the newest one that came out. There are a lot of games that I couldn't play on the One X that I had to wait to get over to the Series X to play. So there are a fair number of games coming out. And in fact, the first thing I wanted to show was this. If you look at my stream,
Okay. Let's check this out.
they had a partner preview the other day, and they are releasing a ton of games. All of these games are going to come out within the next year, basically. Alan Wake 2, Lake House. This is a DLC for Alan Wake 2. Chronos, The New Dawn. That's like a horror game. Blind Fire. That's a multiplayer game where you're like in the dark and you're trying to shoot other people in the dark where it's like hard to see and stuff, and it's kind of a cool idea. Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. That's kind of a wacky game. It's like Japanese pirate game or something. Mouse, Private Investigator for Hire.
I've seen clips of this game.
It looks like fun.
It does look like a lot of fun, but I will say this: they need to tone down the what do you call it? The light effect or whatever. I forgot what the proper gun terminology is. Where after you
Yeah.
the bloom
Yeah.
after the bullet leaves the barrel, the flash. That's what it's called. The flash.
The muzzle flash.
The muzzle flash. It takes up like half of the screen.
Yeah.
They got to turn it down a little.
It wasn't that noticeable. I'll show you in a little bit in because I can actually go back and find it, but
I might be wrong, but yeah.
um
Last time I remember, it took up like it was blocking the crosshair a little bit.
it looked like a lot of fun. I'm excited for that one. I might try that.
And it looks pretty cool.
Subnautica 2 is coming out. That's so far it's just going to be an early access, I think, though. Animal Well, I don't know about that one too much. I think it's like a 2.5D game, maybe. Eden Zero. This is another like targeting the Japanese market sort of thing. Eternal Strands. This is like, I think this is the spell one where they've got tons of spells and stuff that it's like an RPG or something. I don't know, or Souls-like. I'm not sure. Mistfall Hunter, and I think it's another Souls-like maybe. Wheel World. This is kind of, I wasn't too excited about this one. It's like a kind of just like a, what would you like, almost like an idle game, you know, like where you're just sitting back and doing like goofing around in an open world, that sort of thing. I think
looks like Happy Wheels to me on that screen. It kind of reminds me of it.
Yeah, I mean the art style is kind of cool. I do like that. Do you see this one? Did you see this trailer?
I didn't see the trailer, so if you want to show that,
I'm going to show the trailer because it is the most epic game trailer I have ever watched.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm gonna go on a rant real quick. I can't get Phasmophobia optimized for my PC.
I
cannot.
It's the most basic game ever, and it stutters like mad. It looks terrible, but it still stutters like crazy, and it is so annoying.
It uses the Unity engine, does it not?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure it runs the Unity engine.
It wouldn't surprise me.
But, okay, if and only I'm going to buy it regardless and play it on Xbox.
I'm so excited to play it. And it's going to be crossplay.
Well, that's good. Because I remember, what was it, earlier this year, like in September, August or whatever? I don't remember. But no, even earlier than that, I think they were talking about doing a console port.
Yeah. It's been over a year, I think. Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah, it was over a year, and they had to delay it.
Yeah.
But if I can play it on console, which I will eventually.
Yep.
If they get rid of the stutters, then that's a win for me.
I think they've been working directly with Xbox. I think Xbox gave them money to develop on their platform.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I really hope they gave them the funding because they really need it.
yeah.
Look, they're a great, they're a good studio.
I
I
think it's
really,
coming to Game Pass actually.
they're a good studio. It's just a simple, fun multiplayer co-op indie
Yeah,
horror game. It's
Phasmophobia.
a lot of, I enjoy it. I have a lot of fun whenever I get the time to play with you guys. It's a
Yeah,
lot of fun. But
yeah. I mean, I'm really
my
excited
gosh,
for that one.
I'm tired of the stutters on
I'm
PC.
so tired, man. I'm so tired of the stutters.
That's what put me off from it. I don't want to
I
play it
know.
anymore. It
It
keeps
makes me
stuttering.
feel like I'm inferior for having a stupid PC that can't run the game, a terrible looking game without stutters. It's so sad.
So I hope this console port gets rid of that. That
I
would be
know.
nice.
I know. I'm
But
really hopeful.
we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. We have Legend of Babu, I guess. That's like I don't know. What is it like?
These all look like they're trying to appeal to the Japanese market,
Yeah, a
which I'll
lot of
give
them are. A lot
that.
of them are. Yeah.
I'll give
Um,
Xbox that. They need to do that.
yeah, they're not doing super well in the Japanese market, so
No,
they
they
really
aren't.
should go after that. What is that one game that's on it's a PlayStation exclusive and it's got the big hulking guy with he's kind of gray and he has red streaks all over him. God of War.
God of War. Oh, Kratos.
Yeah. I think this is kind of like that, sort of,
It's a.
except with
It's
less gore and stuff, I assume. Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. A lot of people have said that's gonna be like Black Myth Wukong, which is that game
that's
that
what it.
came out recently.
That's what it reminded me of when I
Yeah.
first saw that title.
And FBC Firebreak. I want to show you the trailer for this one too because it's
Yeah.
pretty
What's
cool.
that?
It's a three player game and it looks like a lot of fun. Co-op game. It reminds
I'd
me of
love to
Garden
see some.
Ops. Let's see if I can
Ooh.
find the Phasmo trailer in here. I think it's later. I gotta show you this because it is the coolest thing ever. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
There it is. There it is. There it is. All of its glory, full screen.
I don't know if it'll work if I full screen it.
It's okay. It's fine. I can see it.
Okay, here we go.
What did you see? Okay, never mind. We're coming. Hello?
I don't know if you can read that.
Oh, what it said on the screen?
Yeah.
Coming to Xbox Series X and S. October 29th.
Yep.
Ooh.
I love how it said coming to Xbox Series X and S on the wall, in blood. That was so funny to me. I couldn't take it.
Oh my gosh.
I absolutely love that trailer. I'm so
All
proud
right.
of them.
Mark your calendar.
October
How-
29th.
What's the listing?
What's the listing? Oh, I'm
Yeah,
confused.
what's the price? What's the price of it? Is it
I
gonna
don't
be
know.
like 50, is it gonna be like $15 or
Yeah, my assumption would be like $15 because I think that's what it is on Steam.
Steam? Phasmophobia.
I am so happy. I'm elated.
I know. Oh, $20. Okay.
$20. That's not bad.
No, that's not bad. I'm gonna buy it actually. We've been waiting for so long
I know.
to see a release date now gives me hope.
I know. 29th of October. It's so exciting.
Oh my gosh. We 11 days. We have 11 days. We're doing a midnight release with this one.
Oh my gosh. And then here's the other game I wanted to show you. It's what is it? Firebreak or something? FBC Firebreak. Yeah, here we go. Oh, wait. You got to share your screen again.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I was sharing my screen. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it went away.
Oh, I closed out my Microsoft Edge. My bad.
Aha, there we go. All right.
I probably just screwed up your whole entire setup.
No,
but...
that's all right. We got it. All right, here we go. Watch this one. This is cool.
This place was always dangerous. And weird. Policy and procedure used to keep us in control. But now, we need a new approach.
This is cool.
It is cool.
That's kind of cool. That's pretty neat.
Just in there taking a shower.
A shower. Get a shower.
Watch this.
The gnome. Really? That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Somebody said 10 out of 10 for gnome cannon. I think that's exactly the kind of game that our brothers would play. Your brother and my brother, it's exactly the kind of game.
100%.
Yeah.
He'd play that. He'd play that. If I texted that to him, he'd be like, "When can I get this?"
It looks like a lot of fun, and I wouldn't be surprised if they would play it. And it's coming to PC as well. It says Game Pass and PC, so that's really cool. I forget what FBC stands for. I think it's...
Oh, I just realized you can now play X Defiant since you have a Series X.
Oh yeah, is it free?
It is free,
Ooh.
and that's a great price.
Yeah, we should do that. We gotta find time to play these games.
I know. We should do that after this podcast.
Yeah,
if you want.
We totally
Unless
can.
you probably have stuff to do. I wouldn't blame you.
We'll see. I'm not sure.
If not, that's totally fine. But
let's see. I have to work out
I
totally
forgot about that.
Maybe I might have to work out tonight. I'm not sure. Yeah, I totally forgot about. Why is your stream dying on me? I'm not sure. Either way, it's fine.
Why is it dying?
No, it's all right. It's working. All right.
Oh, it's so bright.
My eyeballs.
Turn it off. Oh, we're good.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So the other thing we kind of wanted to talk about was reminiscing about our earliest experiences with gaming.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you played a video game? Or do you remember do you have an earliest memory playing a video game?
So the earliest, actually, tell you what, I'll do this. My first video game that I ever played, according to my mom and dad, was I played Cars. Cars for the Xbox 360.
No way! Dude.
That was the first video game I played, according to my dad and my mom.
That's crazy. The first memory I have playing any video game was playing Cars on PS2. That's absolutely insane.
Now, I don't remember that being like my earliest memory, I would say. Gosh, I don't even know what my earliest memory of playing video games were. I think it probably was still Cars, I would say.
Yeah. Cars, man. It was a hard game. That's what I remember, is that it was hard and I sucked at it.
For me, it was another early memory was SpongeBob Truth or Square.
Mm-hmm.
And then also Crud, what's that other one called? Hot Wheels beat that. I think I have, let me see here. I'm pretty sure I have it up here. Let me get.
Yeah, I remember Hot Wheels beat that. That was a good game.
Let's see what I got here. Oh, here. I have my lineup, so I'll just show it to you.
Ooh.
Let's see what we got here.
So yeah, I think my earliest memory, and I think this could just be like me tripping over my terrible memory, but
I'm probably tripping too.
I'm pretty sure that Cars, the first game, Cars, Pixar's Cars, came out on PS2. It seems right to me.
It was also on the 360. I know that.
Yeah.
Okay, so these were some of the earliest games that I played. Now, one of them I definitely played later on because I was too young to play it because my parents raised me right. But I'll just go through the list. They weren't in order. They were probably just one at a time. Uh, Lego Batman.
Ooh, yep. That was an early one for me on PS2. I played that one on
Th-
PS2.
This was an early one for me. Also, Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga was another early one
Yep.
for me.
I remember playing that.
Okay, let's see. Now, I don't have the cover art, but actually, you could probably get an idea. Let
This
me
was
see.
what, like 15 years ago or something
Oh yeah, 100%, 15 years ago.
that we got
Let's
our
see.
first experiences with games. It might have been even earlier than that cuz by age 5, you're like, okay, I've got some level of consciousness. I can remember some stuff.
There's no cover art, but it's
Iron
Iron
Man.
Man, Iron Man for the Xbox 360.
Awesome.
There's the disc cover. This was
Wow.
probably one of the better Marvel games, I would say,
That's
from
so cool.
Sega. So, I mean,
Ooh.
if I'm not mistaken, it kind of looked like this.
Yeah.
This was probably the cover art. This is the PSP cover art, but
Oh, that's
that's
so
pro-
cool.
that's probably what the cover art looked like for the Xbox 360. But I played it mostly on the 360. I had a lot of fun on it. It was a hard game. I'll just
Yeah.
say that. This was a hard game.
Yeah.
You had to play this on easy if you even on easy was hard. So,
Do you remember playing I don't remember. It must have been at Uncle Tim's house because I think I remember playing on an original Xbox on a CRT with you Halo Combat Evolved. I think I remember that. Do you remember anything about that?
may
Cuz I feel like
maybe
Corey had one.
maybe Corey, if you're watching this, you probably know, but
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's
This
watching
was
it. He
this was
probably,
like one of the earliest memories I have playing that game, or at least watching somebody play that game.
uh, what was it? Because I do know my dad had an original Xbox and
Yeah.
he also had a spare TV. That was in
Maybe it was
this.
at your house.
It may have been at my house. I don't remember all that much, but because I do remember some of my earliest gaming moments was playing Halo, and I
Yeah.
also played. What was it called? Here, I'll look it up. It was also called Stubbs the Zombie.
Mhm.
Probably not appropriate for my age, I would say, but
Oh, weird. I don't know if I've ever seen that game before.
but it utilized the same engine that Halo ran.
Yeah.
So I
Interesting.
played that. I also, and I remember this fondly, Destroy All Humans
Oh, yep. Destroy All Humans. Yep. Of
for the
course.
original Xbox, for the original Xbox.
Oh my
There
gosh.
was a there was a device, and I found this out later as I got older, as I got way older down the road when this game was getting remastered.
Yep.
Um, I'm only gonna say this. There was an item, a device called the probe, and yeah, I'll
Oh.
just let you in there. So that's
Oh.
it. So there was this, and then also Hot Wheels for the Xbox 360.
Of course. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Look at that. That's cool. Yes, I
The
remember
disc,
that.
the disc is so scratched.
I think I played that with you
You
at
did
your
play it with
house.
me. We had a lot of fun on it. I remember that.
I'm looking
There was a lot.
for. I've got one case here. Okay. I'm not sure.
Oh, it's still got the booklet in here. I
I
didn't
don't
even
know how
realize.
old this game is, but I've had it since it. Like we've had this game 2010
You remember this too?
at
Remember when
least.
games that you bought gave you a manual? Rockstar is the
I know.
only company now that does this.
So this is the game that I have that I remember, and we've had this since those 360 days. Plants vs. Zombies, the original on Xbox 360. And I think this is where it initially came out. And yeah, manual right there. Super cool.
You got table of contents. You also have
Look at that.
your controls, your types of
Isn't that awesome?
types of weapons.
Yeah, I love
Cool.
the old style game cases. Yeah.
I don't think my Iron Man had one. No.
Some of my earliest memories of gaming are at your house playing Halo on your white 360.
Well, I remember playing Lego Batman with you on the PS2 one
Yeah.
time. I went. You recently moved into the house that you're in now. I
Right.
remember that.
Yeah.
And you had the PS2,
Mm-hmm.
and I came over to stay the night, and we just stayed up late playing Lego Batman.
Yeah. It was so much fun.
This Lego Batman.
So many
So,
good memories of.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And then gosh, I don't even remember how, like, we would stay up really late, I feel like, playing Halo,
Oh,
Lego Batman, all sorts of games. And I wasn't allowed to play Halo at my house, so I got away with it at your house.
well, probably because my mom was watching us play, so she thought, oh, it's just it's a fantasy shooter.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Well, I'm playing it now, so
And this is, this was probably one of my first M-rated games next to
Yep.
Halo. So Halo Combat Evolved was rated M, and then
this one's
was
rated
also...
T, though, isn't it?
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, it is. That's surprising. I thought this was M. But anyways, a World War II shooter rated T for teen. I
That's
mean,
crazy.
I can kind of see it, but this is probably one of the first games that got me interested in history.
Yep. I have.
And it
Let's
also
see.
has a manual. What on earth? This
course.
also has a manual.
I just have this one next to me, but
You
I
have like 5 copies of those.
I know. I have this one right next to me, and
I wouldn't blame you.
these are just the games that I play regularly. They're sitting right next to me. I have this on the 360, and we used to play it all the time on the 360. In fact, I think this was the game I used to play more than anything. Like when did this come out? I don't know when. It's like 2012 or 2013, over a decade ago. Ooh.
All just the controls.
Yeah. When did
All that
manuals
stuff.
die?
I want to say like when the PS4 and Xbox One came around. I want to say that's when it died.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Huh. But I remember
It did.
getting this on 360, and we logged in, and it said you need Xbox Live Gold to play this game, and we were like, "What? You need a subscription to play this?" And we begged our parents, and we ended up getting it, and we played the crap out of that
Yeah,
game.
I remember this. Whenever I came over, you guys were playing that.
Yeah, we would argue over who got the controller, and some of my best memories were with this game. It was so fantastic. I absolutely loved the game.
While I just wanted to play Black Ops 3.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I was just too focused on, can I get the next COD, Mom? Can I please have the next COD? Can I play Black Ops 3? I remember this too. I wanted to play Black Ops 3 so badly after it got announced.
Yeah.
It was like a couple months into the game's life cycle,
Mhm.
and I still wanted to play it. It was like summer of 2016 when I bought my own PS4. That was probably
Oh
one of the
yeah.
best. I remember I do remember that. I got the Apple Watch, the first generation, and then I
Right.
had it for a while, and I thought, oh, this is not great. So I returned it, got
Yeah.
my money back,
Yeah.
and then I asked my dad, and I showed him. I said, okay, you know that for he didn't he I guess he wasn't wanting me to play it for some reason. I don't remember what it was. I think it was because of like I don't even think it had to do with gore. I think it just had to do with language.
Oh, mm-hmm.
But all the other COD games prior had the exact same thing. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to play the multiplayer. But I told him, I said, there's a content filter. And I told my mom this as well. And I think my mom convinced him to let me have it
Mm-hmm.
because there was a content filter on Black Ops 3 where you could turn it on and it would get rid of all the cuss words. It would blur out some stuff. It would disable blood, which is fine. I don't care. I just
Yeah.
wanted to play.
Yeah.
And yeah, I remember I came home one day during summertime and it was on the table. It was the PS4 console with Black Ops 3, and I thought, "Oh my gosh." And I think that was around my birthday as well. I think it was, but
Yeah.
I was so
Oh
I
my
played
gosh.
look,
Consoles for Christmas were the coolest thing ever.
I was terrible at COD Black Ops 3. I was terrible. I had like a point 0.7 KD, but I didn't care. I had fun on that game. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
I loved it, but yeah, and that was one of the best things too, getting consoles for Christmas. I remember I think it was like 2015 or something like that. We woke up one morning and I got a new iPhone. I got the iPhone 6 Plus
Yep.
or the iPhone 6. I think it was the iPhone 6. I don't
Yeah, I
remember.
think that's right. I think it's iPhone 6.
Best phone out there. Best iPhone ever
Yeah.
made. Hands down, best iPhone ever. I loved it.
Yep.
But
I had a 6 Plus and I loved that thing. And it went in the toilet, I think.
or
No.
something like
It
that.
went through the wash. It went through the wash.
That's what it was. It went through the wash. And I remember Christmas morning, I saw two Xbox Ones
Yep.
because we already had a PS4. And I'm
Right?
like, what? Two of them?
Yeah.
It was cool. Halo
Our family's
5.
been really
That's
weird. We've never bought consoles day one. Ever. Or not even year one usually. Usually we get the mid-gen refreshes, which is so strange.
Well,
Because
you know
we
me.
never got an original Xbox One. We got the Xbox One S.
We got the VCR Xboxes.
Yeah,
We got the first generation Xbox.
right. And we
But that was
also, I
that
guess
was
we
2
did
years
get the
after it
original
came out.
PS4, but we didn't get it right away. I don't think. It
I
was at least a
what was
year
it?
later.
My Uncle Timo,
Yeah,
uh, he took me out to Best Buy one day. I don't remember what year it was, but I
I
remember
think I remember that.
he brought me out to Best Buy,
Yeah,
and I was wondering why exactly, and he just said, "Oh, we're just gonna go look and everything."
yeah,
And we looked through the consoles and everything, and he said, "Well, which one do you prefer?"
yeah.
And I said, "I like the PS4. I think it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
The Xbox controller, it's a little uncomfortable in my hands. My hands were small back then,
Right.
but I told him, I said, I like the PS4. I think it looks really cool,
Mm-hmm.
and I like the games that come with it." And then he said, he want he said, "Why don't you grab one?" And I said, "What?" He's like, "Why don't you grab one? Why don't you grab one? And why don't you grab two controllers with it?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What?"
Uncle Tim was a fantastic guy.
I know. He was the best. He
I
was
know.
the best. I miss him so much.
I do too.
He was the
Just a quick
best.
aside. Do you remember going to In-N-Out with him?
I don't remember.
We made one trip to In-N-Out with him one day, and he, like, the In-N-Out fries are pretty salty, right, to begin with?
Yeah.
But he took the salt packet and he loaded it on. And I thought that was amazing. And I did the same thing. And, dude, we were, like, dried up that day. That was
I
so
don't
much
remember
fun.
this. I don't remember this, but
Yeah. I times were good with Uncle Tim. Yeah.
oh my gosh, he made everything way better.
And he had a drone. Do you remember the drone?
I remember the drone.
We called
I
it
do remember
we called
that.
it DG because it was a DJI something Phantom or other.
Yeah, it was like a Phantom drone or something like that. It was a really cool drone too.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Do you remember what happened to it?
The only thing that I remember, according to him, if I'm not mistaken, it lost connection, flew up high in the sky, and then it just died or something like that. Like it fell?
So he handed the controller to me. I brought it up. Everything was fine. I did the thing to land it, and it was like this close to landing, and then something went wrong, and it flew up and hit a tree,
Aw.
and it died. It was so sad, and I still feel responsible. But yeah, times were great.
I do remember I somehow helped him format the videos on the SD card that he had with it.
Yeah.
Thing is, here's the thing, Logan. I have the original SD cards that came with it.
Really?
I do have them with me. Thing is, and this makes me so sad, I went to go plug it into my computer,
Yeah.
and all the files were corrupted. I
Aw.
tried downloading software to fix it. I couldn't recover them. I couldn't.
Aw,
I'm so sad.
that sucks.
It was it makes me really sad.
Oh well, at least we have the memories of it.
I wonder if they're still on his iPad. I'm curious.
Oh
They
yeah.
might be,
Yeah.
because he used his iPad to that way we could see the screen and everything on the
Right.
camera.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're still on there. They're probably it might be.
Yeah. I've got to
But
grab something. I'm just gonna grab it from my dresser right there because it is.
Okay.
It has to do with one of my memories. So you entertain the people while I'm gone.
Okay, so I'm a father of 4 at the moment, and I'm sad. I'm depressed. I don't have a life anymore. I'm not allowed to play video games unless my wife tells me to. I wish that I could somehow entertain you guys while listening to this boring podcast. I don't know why you're here, but oh, he's back. All right, that's cool. Great. All right, welcome back.
Yeah, I found it.
What was it? Oh, that thing. Yeah, I remember that. I remember you were playing Minecraft Pocket Edition on that
Yes,
thing.
dude.
You want to know something? You want to know something, Logan? You were against me at first when I made you use the crosshair on Minecraft Pocket Edition.
Yeah, I was.
And then I enabled it, and then you're like, "Oh my gosh, this is so much better."
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, this is an iPod 4th gen. So this is old. This is what I had before I had a phone. And my gaming memory is I played Minecraft Pocket Edition with him on this, and that is one of my first gaming memories too. Like I think I remember we had a treehouse, and it was Pocket Edition Lite. We didn't have the full version.
No, we had so much fun on the light version though.
Yeah. I remember that. It was so cool, and I loved. And this thing still works. The battery is not very good on it anymore, but it was so much fun to play on it. Let's see. What did you? Oh yeah, you had the tablet. I remember the tablet.
This is
my
what
gosh.
I had. It was called the Nexus 7 tablet.
Yeah.
And this is what I was able to play Minecraft on.
Dude. We had so much fun. Like with the monsters, I remember we were really little. This was, let's see, how old would we have been? Like 6 or 7 years old. And the monsters were so scary, and I remember we were having a heck of a time. We were hiding out in a treehouse, and so many good times playing Minecraft in the like super early days. Like that would have been 2012, 2013, maybe 2014.
This was made by ASUS?
Really? That's crazy. But yeah, I was so happy. Like, and the memories are just super good there. So yeah, this is, look at how tiny that screen is. Look, like this is a bezel up here. So, and so is this. And then I'm gonna bring out my phone here. Look at the difference. That thing is itty bitty, and this is just a normal iPhone 12, so it's the smaller one too, right? So
Is that the mini? The iPhone 12 mini?
No, it's just a normal 12. This is really small.
Yeah, but you got to take into account our hands were tiny back then.
Yeah. But I was gonna say something, but I forgot what it was.
Oh, crud. My bad.
No, not your bad. I just keep forgetting stuff. Ah, dang it. Oh, this still has a really old version of Minecraft on it, and you can still play it because this is an outdated OS, and you can still
Oh,
play a
does it have-
super old version. It still has the swipe to unlock at the bottom. You remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah. It's
That was nice.
it like every time I turn this thing on, I have like flashbacks, like World War II flashbacks, Vietnam flashbacks. It was I remember having so much fun. Yeah.
Here's another. I have it with me actually right here. This was Xbox 360 controller that I got for Christmas. I think this was.
I remember that one.
I think it was a Gears 3
Yeah.
Xbox controller. I might be wrong.
I remember that controller. I remember when you got that controller and I was so jealous.
Well, here's the thing. This is just the controller. They actually made a full-blown console based off of this, an Xbox
Yeah.
360.
I remember that.
I got the controller. I was happy about that. Gears of
Yeah,
War,
I see it.
Xbox
No.
360.
There it is. There it is. It's halfway.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
most of
there
the way
it
down
is.
your page. Yeah.
It was Gears of War 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was it. I should just go to eBay right now and just buy that console.
I know. It's so cool. Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Let's see. How much is this? Gears of War, Xbox 360. Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, that's glorious. Old
How much is
consoles.
it?
So, I mean, old consoles today really kind of suck. Like, I played on the 360 and it's super slow recently. But back then, they were the best things ever. And we didn't notice load times. We didn't notice any of that. We just had an amazing time, regardless. And I do remember we had infinite fun on the old consoles.
Here it is. Gears of
189?
War.
Dude,
Not bad.
you don't get
That's
the
not bad.
controller, unfortunately.
This one you do.
Oh, there you go. Fully functioning, $160. Or best
That's
offer.
beautiful.
That's glorious. Oh,
Yeah, but I have my. It's not even plugged in.
oh yeah.
My 360 Slim.
Sweet.
This is a Wi-Fi adapter. It's for modern Wi-Fi because apparently the framework on this thing, it doesn't even support 2.4 gigahertz.
Yeah.
Like the newer version of it.
Even the
This is-
newest one.
This is supposed to help with it.
Yeah. I still have so we had our 360 Slim. That's the version of the 360 that we had. And let's see. I remember that we had it, and then our account got corrupted on it, and we weren't able to access all of our save data or something.
I remember this.
So we just ended up selling it to GameStop, and we thought I totally feel like I got away with something selling that to GameStop. Like, it was basically inoperable for us. I mean, obviously you could still navigate to the home, and it would still read discs and everything, but
Yeah.
it wasn't working for us. So I felt
No.
like we totally got away with something. And then more recently, like, I don't know, 2 years ago, I bought another 360 Slim, and I got it from GameStop. And I actually haven't played on it that much, but I did play Garden Warfare 1, so it was just like the old days. Love playing that game. And it
Nostalgia.
was amazing. It was super nostalgic, but it was also like absolute trash. It felt terrible. It was the slowest 30 FPS I've ever seen in my entire life.
Speaking of
Yeah, go ahead. Oh
nostalgia.
oh
here's
my
some other-
gosh. Yes. Yes. That is where we
So-
played so much. I have so many hours on that specific version of that specific game.
My lighting.
Um,
Okay, we're good.
I remember like the 4-player split screen. We would play that way on that game, and it was the coolest thing ever. And we would play for hours and hours. Uh, See, we had that on PS3. Yeah, that's Elizabeth's favorite game on
It had
PS3.
a better frame rate on PS3 than the 360.
Yeah, which is surprising because the
It ran
PS3
at
is more complicated.
it ran at like 60 FPS, I think, on PS3. I think it did.
Maybe.
I might be wrong. I might be wrong.
Maybe.
Let's check.
But yeah, Lego Star Wars 3, that's my childhood. That is the Lego Star Wars game that I have the most time in, and it was fantastic. I don't know. Did the PS3 do the 60 FPS on any games?
Call of Duty.
It would have had to, right?
Call of Duty ran at 60 FPS on the PS3 and Xbox 360.
Lego games crash like crazy on PS3. That's the problem.
You know, that reminds me of another thing too. You guys, I remember, kept complaining to me about, oh, the games on our PS4 keep crashing on us,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yep.
I don't remember. It was like on your first generation PS4.
Yeah.
You
We
guys
still
were having
have it.
so much. You guys are still having issues with that, apparently.
Yeah. Lego games crash like crazy. It's insane. And on PS4, PS3 and PS4, it's always been a problem for us. Yeah, Red Dead Redemption. See, I've never played that game, but I've heard it's fantastic.
Oh, Undead Nightmare's the best.
Yeah.
I'll say that. And then, Rockstar being Rockstar, they include the whole entire
Oh, that's
map,
so
and
cool.
manual, booklet, all that stuff.
That's so cool. So, did you play
that's
that game when you were little?
No. Uh-uh.
When
I
did you
probably
play it?
played it. Probably maybe 12, 13 years old.
Okay. So, like 7 years ago.
That's a really cool cover art. I like that.
Yeah, that is awesome.
That's pretty cool.
And then,
I actually never seen this cover art before. I've never seen this before.
yeah. See, I have this version. Xbox One edition. We put a lot into that one as well. That one was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then this has been my biggest game in the last...
Or-
What is it? This is like 2017, maybe? No, earlier than that. 2016.
2015, I don't remember.
I think it's 2016. I don't know. This one still has an Xbox Live Gold thing in it. See that? Anybody want the code? There you go. I don't know if that's valid or not. I bought this
I'll use it.
secondhand.
I'll use it.
But yeah, this is my favorite game of all time. And I still play it. And I've been playing it on the Series X, and it's fantastic. I really love this game. Minecraft is a very close second, obviously. Black Ops 3. All right. Sweet. What's your favorite game of all time?
My favorite?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I'm not so sure.
Really? You don't have a good idea of what your favorite one is?
Let me see. There's favorite game. Man.
This is a close third. So here we've got first, second, and third. Right there for me.
I'm gonna be honest. I think it has to be. Oh my gosh. In terms of my favorite game, it's got to be Call of Duty 4.
Really?
Here's the thing. That came out in 2007.
Yeah.
So I was 3 years old at that time. I never played that, of course, but later on down the road, I eventually went back to the older COD games, and for some reason, I don't know what it is, but Call of Duty 4, just the amazing campaign, the multiplayer, I fell in love with it. Like the customization, progression. But even then, when I compare that, if you want my favorite Call of Duty of all time, it's got to be Black Ops 1. I even have it right here, actually. Let's see, where is it?
So your favorite game of all time is Call of Duty 3, but Black Ops 1 is your favorite Call of Duty game?
No, okay. So let me back up a little bit. Call of Duty 4 is probably my favorite game.
Okay.
I would say that is a game that I could replay almost every single year. I could replay the campaign every single time, every single year, and I will always love it. But one of my favorite Call of Duty multiplayers, I would say, is it has to be Black Ops 1.
All right.
So Black Ops 1 is right here.
Cool. I love how you have the 360 case. That just makes me so happy.
Because the reason why I love Black Ops 1 a lot is because of the historical value that is found within it.
Yeah.
You have Fidel Castro, John F. Kennedy, Richard Nixon.
Yeah.
You get to play those characters in the zombies mode. That's nuts. I'm sure you've seen the memes, but
Yeah. What was that? Well, there was a cutscene, wasn't there?
storm. It's just a storm. Sit down.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Oh my gosh. That was so funny. Oh. It's just a storm, Dick. Sit down. Oh.
Now, gentlemen,
Oh, here we go.
as I like to think, in the long history of the world, that there are only a few generations.
Sounds like someone breaking in.
Just a storm, Dick.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Oh. Yeah.
For time and the world do not stand still. Change is the law of life. And those who look only to the past or the present are certain to miss the future. I said are certain to miss the future.
Oh no, I missed that. Prime Minister Castro, this missile crisis was the last straw. We almost blew ourselves up. Now, we invited you here today
In good faith.
in good faith to sort this thing out.
And why is he here? He lost. As I always say, forgive your enemies, but remember their names. Now, gentlemen, as I like to think, in the long history of the world, that there are only a few generations.
Sounds like someone breaking
Oh my
in.
gosh.
Storm, Dick. Sit down.
Oh my God!
He
It
faints.
appears the Pentagon has been breached.
Zombies.
It appears the
Gentlemen, in
Pentagon
times
has
like
been
these,
breached.
Our capacity to retaliate must be and has to be massive to deter all forms of aggression.
Oh my gosh.
Gentlemen, lock and load.
Any last words?
This is the most historically accurate thing I've
Any
ever seen.
superlative words of inspiration from
I
you?
really Black Ops 6 needs
Do
to
not
do
pray
something
for
with
easy
this.
lives, my
I know.
friends. Pray to
That'd
Bill
be so
Clinton,
cool. Oh, it
Margaret
shifts into color as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
Look at
cool.
Richard Nixon. Look, he's like posing like this.
Oh, that's
So
so cool.
anyways.
I love that.
Anyways. That's yeah.
So your favorite
Okay.
game is that one.
Honestly, yeah. Black Ops 1 is my favorite game.
That's
It's
awesome.
my favorite. I love COD 4, but now that the more that I think about it, it has to be Black Ops 1. It's my favorite. It's my favorite Call of Duty. It's my favorite game of all time, I would say.
Do you have a second and third place?
Second place, it probably would have to go to that's a man. Gosh. Putting me on the spot here, Logan.
I know. Well, I tried to tell you beforehand that this was a topic for today, you know.
Oh, I didn't even remember that this was a topic. All I know is that we were gonna reminisce about
Well, yeah. Yeah, I didn't specifically say that it would be picking favorite games.
Mm,
Would Halo be in the top 10?
it would be Halo would be in the top 10.
Which one?
Halo Combat.
Combat Evolved.
Actually, Favorite, yeah. Second place, Halo Combat Evolved.
Okay. All right.
I love Halo 1. Halo 1 is what got me into the first-person shooter genre.
Yeah.
That was the if you want to get into FPS games, if you would like to learn the basics of controller first-person shooters,
Yep.
Halo is the way to do it.
Because
It's
it was the
been the
first
most
one
successful. It was the first one.
with
It
that
was the
controller
first
scheme.
with that controller scheme. No other console at that time, aside from GoldenEye that I can think of, for the N64, was able to perfect FPS controls on a console.
Yeah.
So, had to be Halo.
Yeah.
Now, third place, I'm not entirely sure what third place would be. Um, Man, it's got to be. Gosh, Minecraft. I mean, I love Minecraft, but
Yeah.
it's not my favorite game of all time. I'll just say that. It was a game that I cherished and I had fond memories of,
Yeah.
but it was mainly because I was playing that game with you guys.
Yeah,
But
Minecraft is more about like the people you play with than it is about
it,
the game itself.
yeah, you make memories with your friends on that game,
Yeah.
not by yourself.
But there are things about the game that are especially nostalgic, like the music, right? And a bunch of the other stuff. It's like if you look back at old images of old Minecraft, like the betas and
Yeah.
stuff and alpha and whatever, it's nostalgic.
Man, I really don't know. I don't know what third place would be because that's such a high,
I know. It's a high honor to be third place in this
it's
scenario.
it's a high honor. It really is.
Yeah.
Uh, oh, it's got. You know what? It's Dark Souls for me. It's
Ooh.
Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 1. Yeah.
Interesting.
And thing is, here's the thing. I never played Dark Souls when it first came out, and I never played I played the remastered version of it when it came out in 2018. So that was my first introduction into the Soul series. I played the remastered version,
Yeah.
and I I was terrible at it. I was so bad at it. But you know what? I wanted to get better at the game. And what I did was, whenever I hit a stone wall, I would just go to the internet for help.
Yeah.
Just to have like some advice like, oh, try using this gear, try using, this power up, or try using this piece of armor slash, sword. There's tons of stuff that I can name in Dark Souls.
Yeah.
There was a weapon that I remember that you could get. This is what the speedrunners do. Now that the viewers don't know that I'm lying or anything, and I've done this too because I just like to cheese playthroughs on Dark Souls sometimes. There's a weapon that you could get from the beginning of the game. It's called the Black Knight Halberd, and so you spawn in from the Undead Burg. I think that's the place what it was called. It's been a while since I last played,
Yeah.
but I mean, given the fact that it's my favorite game, you'd expect me to know. But anyways,
Third
you
favorite.
go to Firelink Shrine, and yeah, you go to Firelink Shrine. You have this dungeon key. It's a dungeon key, if I'm not mistaken. It allows you to access all the. It's called the Master Key. Sorry, it's called the Master Key, and that allows you to access like 7 different locations from the start of the game. And you pick that. You go down to Darkroot Garden. I think it's an area in Darkroot Garden, and you parry a Black Knight. Like you parry it, like you deflect its sword swing, and then you just either backstab it or you just push it off the cliff, and then you back out. Or if you're lucky and you kill it first time, you don't have to back out or anything.
Yeah.
I think I don't remember what the percentage is, but it drops this halberd. It's like this giant spear or whatever. It's kind of like a pole saw, if you will. It's shaped like that, I guess you could say. And it is the most, and I mean this, the most overpowered. One of the most overpowered in Dark Souls history, I would say.
Wow.
And after I got that thing, I could cheese everything in the game. That was the
Sick.
easy mode. That was the easy mode of Dark Souls. But
Yeah.
the thing is, I know a lot of people like to complain about Dark Souls and all the other Souls games. They like to complain, well, I wish it had an easy mode. But
Mm-hmm.
thing is, only you can make it easier for yourself.
Right.
Dark Souls specifically pays homage to the old school style 1980s games like Super Mario.
Sure.
Those games were hard.
Yeah.
Like Castlevania, those were hard games, one life modes.
Right.
Those were hard. And Dark Souls pays homage to that.
Mm-hmm.
And it after you kill one of those giant bosses here, I'll pull up one of them. It was called Ornstein and Smough. This was one of the big bad bosses in the game that I struggled with.
Yeah.
But after defeating it, it was the best feeling ever. If I can type. You had to kill, it was 2 bosses. It was these 2 guys right. They were, okay, well, some of the art. Let's see. Let's get an actual in-game photo. Let's see. That's in-game. But
Cool. Interesting.
you had a choice. And the key to beating this boss fight was only to focus on one of them first.
Yeah.
So you got the fat guy right here, of course. He would trail behind, but his hammer was deadly.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a giant AoE, area of effect.
Yeah.
And that could basically kill you in one hit if you didn't dodge your timings properly. If you didn't time your dodge.
Yeah.
And Ornstein was like she had like the spike or whatever you call it, so she could just like charge at you.
Mm-hmm.
So it was always recommended to kill her first, and then you could kill Ornstein afterwards.
Uh-huh.
It was a 2-phase boss fight, and this was one of the hardest bosses I remember. It took me like probably plus 50 tries to actually kill this thing, to kill these 2.
Yeah.
But in the end, you were rewarded with one of the most beautiful things ever. But that is, I will leave that for the viewers if they're interested to see what happens afterwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say Dark Souls has to be probably my 3rd favorite game of all time. I would say.
That's cool. So you've got like
But-
three completely different games. So what was first was COD 4, right?
Well, Black Ops. Actually.
Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4.
So Black
Second
Ops 4.
was
No, not Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4 was different.
Wait, what was it then?
So favorite Call of Duty game was Black Ops 1.
Okay. Then COD 4.
No.
Oh my gosh,
I don't even remember what my second favorite game was. Because I'm so... it was Black Ops 1. Second favorite game had to have been... Oh my gosh, now what was it?
I don't remember. Oh, it was a different one.
Well, yeah.
No, it was like it wasn't. Oh, it was Halo Combat Evolved.
Yeah, sorry.
That's right.
Yeah, it was... Good grief, Nelson. What's wrong with you?
So, what was the first one again? Black Ops 1.
Black Ops 1.
Then Halo.
Halo Combat Evolved. The first Halo game.
Then
and
Dark Souls. Okay.
Notice how they're all number 1 games.
Yeah.
They're all the first in a trilogy.
Yeah. Interesting. So let's see. So those are yours, and then these are mine, of course. And I think you brought up a good point, right? Like, you talked about the internet and going to the internet for stuff, right? Like looking up tutorials and stuff for Dark Souls. I think that's another really important like component of gaming, because this game had one of the biggest internet presences ever. And I remember back in like 2012, 2013, 2014, really early Minecraft days, Minecraft like was blowing up on YouTube, and Do you remember all of the like OG Minecraft YouTubers?
I do remember some of them, and some of them are still relevant
Yeah.
today. Dan TDM comes to mind. He's like the first one that I can think of that's still relevant.
Yeah.
He understands that his audience grew up,
Yeah.
and he even admitted it in one of his videos. He was like, "You guys aren't kids anymore."
Yeah.
It's
And then,
sad to hear, but he's not wrong.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, I still watch him on occasion,
Mhm.
but Stampy Longnose,
Yeah. I Ballistic
Stampy,
Squid.
Ballistic Squid, who could forget? Who
Um,
else?
Etho Slab.
I
Uh,
still watch Mumbo Jumbo.
Mumbo Jumbo. Yeah. I still watch Etho and Mumbo. Um, Gosh, there's so many. I can't remember them all.
Oh, these are
What
specifically
about
for
like
Minecraft.
Unspeakable Games? That was pretty good too.
I remember him.
Yeah. So many good
Who
memories of.
One of the YouTubers that I used to watch all the time, especially for Call of Duty, was Ali.
Yeah,
And
I
then
remember that. Yeah.
he moved on to Fortnite, and then you had the whole Ali meme.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. Oh my
Uh,
gosh. That feels like
who
ages
else?
ago. Even the Fortnite part. Like,
Well, Fortnite came out 7 years ago.
oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's
Fortnite was
unbelievable.
a long time ago.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
What would we how old would we have been? 13?
So high school. Well,
Wow.
eighth grade actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That is insanity. Gosh.
Just entering 8th grade.
I feel old now.
Yeah, takes one to know one.
Oh my gosh. Oh, well, that was some pretty good reminiscing. What are we at? An hour 32.
I'm an hour 30. So did you want to switch over or?
Well, this is still on gaming, right?
Okay.
I wanted to talk about this briefly.
Okay.
The Digital Foundry channel on YouTube came out with some initial findings for the PS5 Pro.
Yeah.
And it's you know, at least for Ratchet and Clank. Like some of the other games like Final Fantasy, I think it's 7, they look they look quite a bit better, but for Ratchet and Clank, there's like no difference basically, and in some cases it looks worse on the Pro. So if you look at my stream,
Oh, yeah. Let me switch over real quick. Sorry about that.
that's all right. If you look at my stream, you can see the left is PS5 original, the original PS5 on performance RT mode, and it looks great. Ratchet and Clank is just a good-looking game. First of all, I didn't really think that it needed a visual boost in the first place. But you can see, if you look closely, you've got like hairs on his chin, or on his lower cheeks.
They added extra spectacles on his chest piece on the PS5 Pro.
That's a visual bug, I think.
Oh, it
Because,
is?
yeah, this part is, I think it's supposed to be a wet scene and it's like raining, and those are like raindrops that are not supposed to be showing up like that. Like he's supposed to look wet, but he doesn't. I think he looks way better on the PS5 version, and I
He
think
looks
this
a
says a
lot-
lot.
A lot more crisp, I would say, on the.
Yeah, he's got more
Not
detail
more-
in the face, more hair sticking out, and the leather looks a little better, and his, I mean,
Looks more
maybe
realistic on the left.
maybe his chest piece looks a little bit blurrier on the PS5 version, but I
Yeah.
think overall this difference shows that the PS5 Pro is not worth upgrading to.
No, it's not.
It looks it's gonna look better in some cases, right? But if you're getting stuff like this where it looks worse, what the heck? What the heck is going on? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Look, graphics are nice, Logan. Don't get me wrong, but I want a fun game to play. I don't care about graphics.
Exactly. Like,
Look,
this was 4 years ago. Sorry, wrong screen. This was 4 years ago. And like, it looks great. It's a fantastic looking game. We've made like zero progress in the last 4 years in visual fidelity.
it's evolving, just backwards. Look, I just want to play. I just want to play games at either minimum 60 FPS or 120 FPS. That's it. I don't even care about graphics. Look, Black Ops 6 may not be the best looking Call of Duty game to date because apparently all the Modern Warfare 2019 fanboys, I'm going to say that, the fanboys, I am so tired of the 2019 fanboys. They're like, yeah, but it doesn't stack up to... These are the same, like, crowd that like to... They're equivalent to the Last of Us Part 2 crowd, where they'll compare any other game to that, to the Last of Us Part 2, and they'll say, well, it's just inferior to the Last of Us, but... yeah, different genre, different game. It's... Even that, like, here's the thing. Red Dead 2 is better than The Last of Us. I'm just gonna say that. It's better than The Last of Us Part 2. I will say that, and I will die on this hill. It's better. But, thing is, I don't know why, especially for these PS5 and Xbox fanboys, they love to boast about graphics. Okay, if you care so much about video game graphics, buy a PC. Simple as that.
Okay.
Just buy a PC.
I do have something to say about that.
Yeah.
Visual fidelity is moderately important. People like things that are attractive, of course, because we're superficial.
Yeah.
But I think the point is we've hit a plateau where to make a jump from here to here requires a ton of processing power. And this jump is not worth it. So my point is the hardware is not what's limiting current gen games. They can make games that look ever so slightly worse, like they'll be here instead of here, and get 60 FPS, right? Instead of 30.
Yeah.
Like all they're doing right now is with visual fidelity is ray tracing and shadows and all that sort of stuff that makes it look slightly more realistic. If they can get like 45 FPS even, people are going to be happy because 45 FPS is a massive leap over 60. It's an exponential curve. Well, it's like this. So like, I don't think people need to buy a PC to be happy with the visual fidelity that they're getting. Like, I mean, if you look at the Ratchet and Clank game, it's a fantastic looking game on a $500 system.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to get better than that. This is performance RT mode, so it's running at 60 FPS, and you're getting some ray tracing. So I don't like I've seen a plateau. We're like right here. We're leveling off, and they're trying to make visual fidelity go up, but the hardware can't support it because it's not even worth it though. That's what I'm trying to say. That jump in visual fidelity is not worth it, and people are more concerned with frame rates, and they ought to be, because we would rather have visual fidelity here and higher frame rate than visual fidelity here and lower frame rate.
Yeah.
So that's mostly what I wanted to say about PS5 Pro. I don't think it's worth getting. I mean, some people have the money to buy it, and they just they've got it burning a hole in their wallet, and they want to get rid of that money, so they want to go out there and buy it.
Yeah, I may burn a hole in my wallet, but that's nothing compared to the masterpiece that is of The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, pretty graphics does not equate to a good game. It
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I'm sorry, it doesn't. You could use it as a great way of showing your technology that you that you developed.
Yeah.
But that does it. does not, by any means, equate to a good game.
Right.
It doesn't.
I mean, Phasmophobia is a terrible looking
mind.
game. Wouldn't you agree? It looks pretty bad. It's not high fidelity at all.
But it's fun to play.
Exactly. It's really fun to play. So, I mean, would I be happy if it looked a little bit better? Of course. Right?
Well, yeah.
But it doesn't
they
need
could
to.
polish up the animations, probably
Yeah.
put a couple of filters through it.
Right. And, maybe upgrade the models a little bit so they don't look as like I'm thinking of the Lego movie meme where it's Emmett that he's just so turns into
Yeah.
into regular Lego guy.
He's just kind of yeah.
Yeah.
I get what you mean.
I mean,
I can get that.
it would be nice if they looked a little bit better, but who cares? As long as it runs all right, which it doesn't on PC, but as long as it runs all right, we're going to be happy. And I feel like in the same way, with movies, we've reached a level like of beauty in movies and video games that people are starting to move in a more artistic direction. Like you saw Puss in Boots in The Last Wish or Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. The regular stuff that they come out with looks so good that they can just take it in a whole different direction and make it just extra stylistic, and it looks nice. And stuff like
style.
Yeah, it's a unique style. And then you have games like Hi-Fi Rush. I don't know if you've seen that on Xbox, but it's like
I've seen it. Didn't they close down that studio or something like that?
Yeah, they did. They closed it down, and then some other studio bought it.
So stupid. So
Yeah.
dumb.
Yeah.
They had everything and they lost it.
I mean, it wasn't a super successful studio. That was their best game, I think. I'm not sure. But yeah,
It was really. I heard a lot of good stuff about that game.
yeah, I've heard great stuff. People love the game, and it's not the most visually impressive game ever. It's really stylistic though, and people like that.
It wasn't selling Game Pass subscriptions.
Right. Well, and then here's
That's
the other
it.
thing. Nintendo Switch hardware is super old at this point, and it's really showing its age. But developers still make games for it, and they still optimize for it, and they look fine, and people love the games on Nintendo Switch.
I mean, it's impressive that they got Doom and Doom Eternal to run on that thing.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Exactly. They can make games run on less powerful hardware.
It's even more impressive. They got Hogwarts Legacy to run
Yeah.
natively on that thing.
Yeah.
Natively. Granted, the resolution is terrible, but for a small screen like that,
Yeah.
I applaud them that they were and the actual they didn't use third-party developers or anything. The actual AAA devs actually got it to run on the Switch and
Yeah.
perform well on the Switch.
Exactly.
Granted, you get long loading times, but you gotta have some sacrifices along the way if you want to have something like that.
Right. So, I mean, at this point, hardware is not the problem. Because if you can make stuff run on last-gen consoles and the Nintendo Switch, it's like,
I mean,
what are you talking about? What's your argument? You don't need more powerful hardware. That's not the problem here. It's creativity and willingness to make a good quality game that's actually fun to play.
I thought the point of this type of hardware was supposed to, push us forward to
Yeah.
create more innovative games that we weren't able to ever think
Well,
of.
and sure, there are some games that take advantage of the hardware that make it look nice, like Ratchet and Clank. That probably wouldn't run super great on a PS4 or PS3, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's still like it's mostly not the problem, especially since we've gotten to the level of Ratchet and Clank, and there aren't many games coming out that can possibly look better than that, right?
Yeah.
All right. Is that all we want to say for that? That's pretty much all I got.
I got nothing.
I mean, we still have politics, obviously. We can get through that real quick.
Yeah, that was politics. The only thing that I've seen in regards to that, if you want to, do the little leave if you want
Yes,
for viewer
that's the
discretion is
disclaimer.
advised.
Yeah.
Just if you don't want to hear this section, leave. We don't want you here. Leave. Leave.
Well, obviously we want you here, but if
Oh, we
if
do,
you
but
if you're turned off by
at the same
politics, definitely it's
leave.
yeah. We don't want to make anybody feel, uncomfortable if they don't want to feel uncomfortable, right?
Forget their feelings. We don't care.
Yeah. All right, so here we go.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, that Brett Baer interview with Kamala Harris, I thought that was out of character for Brett Baer, I would
Yeah.
say, because usually he's a lot more
Mellow,
toned back when it comes to interviewing other politicians.
right?
But this time he was like front and center this time,
Yeah.
like just hammering in question after question,
Yeah.
like tough questions
Yeah.
for that would force Kamala to answer. Granted, I'm just gonna say this. I think you could also say, oh, this goes the exact same way for Donald Trump, and he is guilty of doing this too. But it doesn't make you look good when Brett Baer says, yeah, but you've been in office for the past 3.5 years, but you're still blaming Donald Trump for all of these problems that are still occurring in the country.
Yeah.
To me, I just think, well, that's first off, it's immature to do that. That goes the same for Trump, but
Yeah, not
it's
taking credit for what's happened under your administration is just that's not good quality leadership.
it's immature. You're not owning up to your own problems.
Yeah.
Or to your own solutions, but yeah.
I
I mean,
I I mean, there are two arguments here, right? Some
Yeah.
would say that Brett Baer was too fierce, that he was
interrupting constantly
interrupting,
and
not letting her talk, not letting her get answers in.
yeah.
Others would say that Kamala is completely avoiding every question, that that she's not capable of answering these questions honestly, etc. Right? So those are the two kind of perspectives that we have here. Brett Baer's not letting her answer. She's not willing to answer. Those are the kind of two thoughts that have come out of this interview. And really, I don't think that this interview looks good for Kamala either way. Like, if you look at those two things, like two perspectives, she was not able to get out what voters want to hear from her, right? She was not able to explain her changes on policy decisions, whether that be because Brett Baer cut her off or because she wasn't able to. Excuse me. And she wasn't able, or she wasn't able to. I don't know. It just doesn't look good for her, and it's unfortunate, I would say.
No, it's not a good look for her, I will say that.
Yeah. I like you, I was surprised that Brett Baer was as forthcoming as he was.
It's out of character for
Super
him,
out
I
of
would
character.
say.
Yeah. Nobody was
'Cause you-
expecting him to go that direction.
Usually he's just there to report and that's it.
Right. Well, and he's been antagonistic with some Republican candidates during debates and so forth. So and he frames questions in the liberal perspective. So I mean, it's interesting to see him move in this direction.
I know, it's crazy.
And he was, I mean, he was
I
being
don't mean to
respectful
laugh,
here
but-
and there. He was saying Madam Vice President. Like, that's a respectful term for somebody. Like, you're not just calling her Kamala or Harris.
He's not raising his voice or anything, and he's
Yeah.
kept his tone the exact same throughout, like he's done for
Right.
previous interviews with other politicians.
Right.
And this can go the exact same way for Trump and Vance and Tim Walz, especially for this. It reminds me of like some of the interviews that like CNN and MSNBC have had with Vance, where
Yeah.
I remember I saw a clip online, and it was just downright, I'll just admit it was just downright rude, because one of the reporters, I forgot her name, she kept talking over him
whenever he was trying to give a thoughtful answer.
Yeah.
And
That was a problem
he
with this interview too. They were talking
that
over
was
each other,
Yeah,
and I
and that
didn't.
was the problem.
I
And
don't like
Brett
that.
Baer he also acknowledged that. He said,
Yeah.
"Look, we're talking over each other."
He said, "I
And
apologize for that."
yeah,
Yeah. I don't. I mean, it was tough. It seemed like they both weren't. They were both not trying to be fair to each other. Like they were both trying to be actively unfair to each other. I mean, it's kind of hard to say directly that that's the case, but it really felt like getting to the bottom of things wasn't the goal for either person, right? Like, it didn't seem like Kamala was really trying to showcase what she has to offer, and it didn't really seem like Brett Baer was trying to help
Yeah.
people understand her perspective. So that's kind of what I have to say. You got anything
telling
else?
me this stuff is happening.
Here we go.
Dana, would you like to ask me questions and then let me answer them, or would you like to debate me? Would you like to happening?
These
People in
calls from the
Springfield, Dana,
constituents.
and they're telling me this stuff is happening. Dana, would you like to ask me questions
Oh my
and then let
gosh.
me answer them, or would you like to debate me on these topics? I noticed that when you had Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, you gave them multiple choice answers to the questions that you asked, and you allowed them to
Oh
answer
my
the questions.
gosh.
I'm happy to be here to talk about policy, but if you're going to interrupt me every single time that I open my mouth, then why am I even doing this?
Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
He's had it. It's over.
Oh, one other thing I
Yeah.
realized about this interview is Kamala got worked up. She was angry by the end of the interview.
Oh my gosh, she was really pissy. I'll say that.
Yeah, she was.
She's always
Was a bill
her and Trump. They're both pissy. I'll just say
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, Brett Baer, he was confronting her about some of the changes that she's made, or the like. At one point, they talked about
for him to choose
like-
another running mate. So that
They
is
talked
a
about-
fact.
what did they talk about? She said she wouldn't change anything that Biden's done, and he's like, well, how can you say that that you wouldn't change anything, but you're turning a page? Like, you're not a new candidate, and you're not pledging to be a new candidate. You've been in the office for the last 3.5 years. How can you be turning a page?
Forward, and it's time to turn the page. You've been vice president for 3.5 years, so what are you turning the page from?
Well, first of all, turning the page from the last decade
Yeah.
in which we've been burdened with the kind of rhetoric
It's her
coming from
favorite
Donald
word.
Trump that has been designed and implemented to divide our country and have Americans literally point fingers at each other. Rhetoric and
okay.
An approach to
Okay,
leadership
I'll pause. What can be this interview has, what was it? I watched this video while being
5.1
raised in a
million
middle
views.
class. Oh yeah. What
I
can
watched
be
this video while
burdened
being raised in a middle class family. Oh my gosh.
by what has been.
What can be burdened by what has been? Yeah, she's okay. So her whole thing is we're gonna point fingers at Trump, and she says, "Well, Trump, he's been pointing fingers at everybody else." It seemed like there's a little bit of dishonesty and hypocrisy there. I don't know.
There is. I would say so to some extent.
Nothing about this interview impressed me, really.
147 times she said it was Trump's fault. No way. Hang on. How many
that
times
can't be.
did she bring up 47? So the word Trump in this interview is brought up 47 times. So what about fault? Fault is brought up 3 times.
Yeah, but it's
So
including
she
from
mentioned-
chat.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I was not impressed by that interview. I didn't really appreciate it.
I mean, I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it is kind of funny.
It is funny.
That is
It's-
the one thing about it that's
I mean,
interesting.
Here's the thing. We're out here just laughing at these politicians for
Yeah.
the most part.
Yeah.
Because we know at the end of the day that how would I word this?
90% of them are hypocrites and liars.
Our views don't matter. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
To them, our views do not matter.
No.
The only thing they care about is getting into a position of power, and they will not do any good for the people.
Yeah.
I'll just say that. And they're somehow, even though whatever their salary is, it's going to be like in the millions afterwards after they leave. Because for
course.
every other president, and this may sound biased, but it isn't. It's actually a known fact. Trump never accepted a paycheck. It's been fact-checked multiple times. He never accepted a paycheck. And he actually left the White House poorer than when he started.
Yeah.
Granted, he's not poor, but his net worth went down a lot.
Yeah.
What was it at? Like 4.7 billion, and then it went to like 3.8 or something. I don't know. Trump net worth before and after presidency. So it was worth 3.7, and then it dropped to 3.1, according to CNN. So I was wrong, but I do know that his net worth went down after he left. But for Obama's net worth, yeah, before 1.3, after 70 million.
Wow.
George W. Bush, before 20, after 40.
Yeah. That's...
Oh, here's Michelle Obama. You want to bring up Big Mike? Do you know who Big Mike is?
I don't know.
Have you heard of that? For your own sanity, you probably shouldn't know.
Okay.
It's just so I'm sure you've heard of this, but you cannot find an image of Michelle Obama pregnant.
Really?
I cannot find an image of her pregnant. And the thing is,
Why
the theory is, well, it's politics. That's photoshopped. That has to be photoshopped. There's like no... Okay, we're getting into some weird territory. I'm just going to back out. You know what? Forget it. Forget that. Yeah, I'll stop. We're going too much into the conspiracy tinfoil hat theory. You know what? Forget everything I said. For our own sanity, forget it. But
yeah, just get the Michelle Obama theories out of the way, like she's a man, etc.
That's about it.
Yeah, we're not going to go into that.
But I know. Yeah. Next time, if you want. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, right. Well, that is all I've got for topics this week.
What a horrible way to end it.
Yeah, terrible way to end it. I absolutely love the middle. That was my favorite section we've ever done. I really like that.
Yeah, that was good. I like that.
So what do we do?
Let's gloss over that other thing.
We talked about our weeks. Talked about games, reminisce. Talked about PS5 Pro. How terrible it is.
How terrible the PS5 Pro is, yes.
And glorious politics. Just as we always love to do.
Oh, gosh.
And that's all I got. What are we at now?
I will say this. Like, I think I mentioned this on the podcast before. I'm not watching election night. I'm not. I refuse. I will put in my vote, and then I'm not paying attention to politics afterwards. Nope. I'm not doing it. You can't make me.
Not doing it. I'm closing my eyes and plugging my ears.
I don't want to know who wins until the day after. I don't want to know. I really don't.
Good luck evading my dad.
I know. Your dad's going to be spam texting us. Oh, he's in the lead. Oh, she's in the lead. Oh, they're both behind.
Oh, my gosh.
The polls were interesting. It showed that apparently Trump was leading in the polls from what I've heard.
Yeah.
So,
which is surprising. Usually the polls don't favor Trump.
They're a little biased, I would say, in a lot of aspects, but
yeah. All right. Well, we're at basically 2 hours now.
Yeah, I'm 2 hours in at this point.
Yeah. That was fun. Lots of fun.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
All right. Well, outro. As always, we thank you for watching. Doing pretty okay on views wise. I think we've 50, 50, and 50, and then 15.
Something like that. I think it may have had to. What was it? Was it because that we did like a 2-hour video? I think that was probably it. No,
I have no idea. I really
it may
don't
have
know.
been that. I don't remember, but
Regardless, we thank you for watching. If you have anything to add, of course, as always, leave it in the comments section below. That helps boost our reach. And
subscribe,
yep.
please.
If you'd like to subscribe, we are almost at 10 subscribers. Pretty nice.
Oh yeah. What are we at? 7?
We're at 9.
We're at 9 now?
Yeah.
No, that's last time I checked this morning. We were at like 7.
I think we're at 9. Let me check.
Well, that's good. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm subscribed to the channel, but
I'm subscribed to myself. Let's see. Here we go. Come on, baby.
let's see what we got.
9.
Hey, 9 subs.
That means like every 5 videos we get 10 subscribers. So by the time we have 10 videos, we'll have 20 subs. All right. Well,
get there. Let's actually do this because we're on the.
Yeah, our first video has 60 views basically. So if all 60 of you subscribe immediately, we'll have 60 subscribers. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. Where the heck did those 60 viewers go? They all left.
60.
What happened?
47, 42, 15. Yeah, that's all right.
That's we don't care about viewership. We're just here for fun.
We had fun tonight, so we appreciate you being with us, and
please comment, please.
Yes,
we
comments are good.
We would like to actually interact with you guys and talk to you about.
That is another reason. It's not just for like engagement and stuff and pushing us out to more people. It's like if you guys have something that you want to say, we want to hear it. So
we were born in the early 2000s, so we were born in an era where electronics were starting to take over our lives.
Right.
But we had good parents that raised us and prevented us from looking at the iPad.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
But
maybe we should talk about that more in the next one.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good topic.
iPad kids. All right. Well, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you for watching. Bye-bye now.